Hi everyone, hope you're doing well today. My name is Melissa Johnston, and first of all, I want to say thank you, Nike, for hiring us as your consulting team. My team and I are here to help you achieve continued growth and success. Do you think that there are areas where Nike is lacking? Are there opportunities for more market share? Well, the answer is yes, and we're going to show you how to claim those market shares and be even more profitable than you already are. We've been looking over your revenues over the years, and as this graph shows, you have been very consistent with increasing them. However, you're missing a major opportunity in the female market. You're a winning brand, but you're currently losing in athleisure. By the end of this presentation, Nike will become a major competitor in a new industry sector with more market shares and higher profit. For you to understand the context of our analysis, we wanted to look back over the years of Nike. We realized that you're a strong company in the industry and have great brand recognition. You also have a strong customer base that is loyal to your brand. You have created partnerships with athletes and turned them into heroes. However, some of these have hurt you as they have been involved in scandals. These scandals have caused you to have decreased sales as certain customers are unhappy with the choices Nike made while continuing to back those athletes. For the internal workings of your company, we realize that there is a struggle with the culture and environment of the employees. It is male-focused and even sometimes referred to as a boys' club. We want to help you improve on this. In the field of technology, there have been many advancements over the years, and Nike has always done a great job of improving with them. You have adapted to the new world of tech exercise accessories very well. The Fuel Band, Nike Plus, Apple Watch with Nike Plus, and even the Nike Connected Jersey are all accomplishments that you have had in the technology industry. Using all this information to set the stage, we have realized that there are three things as your key issues. Now we're going to dive deeper into those key issues that we found with Nike and how there are areas that can be improved upon. First, there is the issue that you have a majority male-focused strategy. While you have female clothing and athletic shoes, overall the inner workings of your company and your product sales are majority male-focused. In 2019, you earned roughly $17 billion in revenues from the male sector and a mere $7 billion from the female sector. The second issue that we identified is that you're currently being outperformed in the athleisure industry by companies such as Lululemon. Lastly, some issues with your decreased sales have been due to sponsored Nike athletes demonstrating unethical behavior. These issues are where we will focus our efforts at earning you more profits. Moving on, we'll take a look at your firm's industry. Nike is in the apparel, accessories, and sports equipment industry, and more specifically in the selling of consumer non-durables, meaning you sell products that are meant to have immediate consumption or use within minutes up to few years. The outlook for this industry is mostly slow growth, but there are a few areas where we think that you could grow. These trends in this industry are first, young consumers. Young athletes are a growing target market, especially in the field of soccer, basketball, and running. Another aspect is e-commerce, which has been a growing area for most apparel selling industries. Nike has so far grown and adapted well with the e-commerce improvements. Lastly, the industry is growing internationally. Countries such as China are becoming a large target market for apparel, accessories, and sports equipment industry. These trends all show that this industry has room for a little bit more growth, but maybe there are industries that Nike would look at better to improve their profits. When looking at this industry that you're in, you can see that there are lots of companies competing. This strategic map we have created shows the companies in terms of price, quality, and image on the y-axis, and whether they cater to a broad market or a niche market on the x-axis. Looking at your firm, Nike, it is clear that you cater to a broad market. You offer a diverse grouping of products and have a great image and branding strategy. Adidas is also in the broad market area. However, they have a lower pricing strategy. Looking at the niche market companies, most of them have high price and high quality, but they offer a limited range of products. New Balance focuses mostly on apparel and fitness shoes, whereas Lululemon and Athleta focus primarily on athleisure. Diving deeper into opportunities of the athleisure industry, we decided to create a strategic map about that industry as well. Here, you can see that the top brands in the athleisure industry range from Adidas, Puma, Alo Yoga, Asics, and of course, your firm, Nike. It is clear that overall you still have higher revenues than all of these companies in the industry. With your large firm and customer base, even your athleisure sales are fairly high compared to the other firms. But as you can see, Lululemon, which has roughly $800 million in annual revenues, is about to beat you out when you have roughly $39 billion in revenues overall. They are a firm that is 80% smaller than you in terms of revenue, but are completely overshadowing you in this industry. Other firms, such as Adidas, are also closely behind you with their athleisure sales as well. Adidas now has 15% of the market share for athletic apparel, and this is an opportunity for you to take those market shares back. Now, let's look at how the industries are doing overall. As far as the life cycles of the industry, first we will look at the athletic equipment industry. This is the market that your firm currently focuses on, as we talked about earlier. The arrow shows how this industry is in the maturity stage. We analyzed that due to the following factors, this industry will have minimal growth in the future. Most of the firms are competing for market share, but because of the low growth that we see for you in the area, we are more interested at showing you the athleisure industry. Our analysis shows that the industry of athleisure is in its growth stage, as shown by the purple arrow. In 2018, this market was valued at $155 billion, but it is projected to grow to $257 billion by 2026. The offline sector of this industry is performing better than the online sector, and we project it will continue that way over the years. The female sector is where we see a perfect opportunity for Nike to move into this growing industry. To talk more about these industries, I'm going to hand it over to Max.
So let's shift our focus over to the forces model to analyze the competitive forces within the industry. And what we've done here is compare the overall market with the athleisure market to show you why the athleisure market is so appealing. And by doing this, we can see the opportunities and the threats of the athleisure market. So right off the bat, we can tell you that athleisure has far less rivals, meaning that if you do penetrate this market, you'll be competing with just a few companies. And on the contrary, the downside of the athleisure market is that there aren't really any complements, but to be honest, that's something we believe you can overcome. Looking deeper into the risk of entry, we can tell you that the risk of entry is low for both the overall industry and the athleisure market. The only key difference is that the athleisure market isn't nearly as competitive, and we'll get into that more. I want to take a look over at the industry attractiveness for a second. As you can see, your current industry, which is athletic apparel and footwear, is growing at a healthy rate. But look how promising the athleisure market is. By 2025, the athleisure market is expected to reach $517.48 billion US dollars, which we find to be very good. Moving forward, let's take a look at a few of the industry rivals. All these companies are growing and focusing on similar products as your firm. But we have Adidas and Lululemon on the left here, and they're both rivals in the overall industry and the athleisure market. As far as the athleisure market goes, Adidas and Lululemon are the market leaders. This goes to show that the market is consolidated and the price of the product is pretty much determined by a few players. I don't want to waste too much of your time on this slide because there aren't many differences between the industry and the athleisure market in these two forces. Right now, the bargaining power of buyers is going down because firms like yourself are slowly cutting off retailers and moving over to e-commerce. And this is a strategy we really agree with. And it's also something that's happening in the athleisure market. When looking over at the bargaining power of suppliers, there's only a real need for raw materials because you already own your own factories. And therefore, there are going to be a good amount of suppliers. Although we do believe that the number of suppliers will decrease slightly when focusing on athleisure because the material is so important. Shifting over to substitutes, there really aren't that many for athletic apparel and footwear because these sports products are often specialized. In the athleisure market, there are a low number of substitutes as well because the product has to function in both athletic and casual wear. If we look over at the other side, we have complement products, which your market currently has a high amount of. And this is where the athleisure market loses some appeal because they actually don't have many complements. Yoga and other health-promoting activities are the main complements for the athleisure market. I'm now going to hand it off to Michael.
Hello, my name is Michael Sorrell, and I'm going to talk to you about your firm analysis. Here I'm going to use the magic triangle to analyze your firm. This magic triangle shows how your company creates and captures value. Nike's value proposition is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. The specific customer you are targeting is anyone with a body. You offer value to your customers by bringing inspiration and innovation to every individual. To deliver this value proposition, Nike holds countless patents and has cross-functional teams to enhance innovation and design. Working with researchers to deliver the best equipment needed to succeed is how you bring value to your company. Your company has over 1,000 stores globally, which contribute to most of your revenue. Nike is able to charge a markup because of the technological advances it has achieved through research and development. Next, I will discuss your company's competitive advantage and value proposition. For Nike, your competitive advantage relies heavily on differentiation. The products that you offer are of the highest quality and give the customers the equipment they need to succeed. Because you provide the highest quality products that prove to be the best time after time, you are able to separate yourself from the rest of the industry. Another source of competitive advantage for Nike is the perception of the product. Customers all over the world see you as the superior brand and therefore choose Nike's products more often than not. The Nike swoosh is seen all around the globe through the relationships you have with almost every sport on the planet. Your highly organized supply chain is yet another source of your competitive advantage. With approximately 130 footwear factories and 365 apparel factories, you have Nike's products being manufactured all over the globe. And because you are not overly reliant on any manufacturing site, you are less vulnerable to unpredictable events. Your exceptional management of the supply chain and manufacturing has allowed your brand to produce superior quality products. You have over 50 distribution centers around the world, with 6 operating in the United States, providing products to over 1,000 retail stores globally. This well-integrated network allows you to focus on innovation and bring the highest quality products to the market. Now let us look at your company's value proposition that includes accessibility, innovation, customization, and brand. Nike creates accessibility by offering a wide variety of options that include footwear, apparel, and equipment. You also own subsidiaries which include Hurley International and Converse that expand your product lines, which give customers more options to choose from. Not only do you provide easy accessibility to your products, but you also place a strong emphasis on innovation. Your company runs and maintains the Nike Explore Team Sport Research Lab, which focuses on redesigning cutting-edge products. This allows your company to test ideas in the pursuit of aiding performance, reducing injury risk, and enhancing perception and feel. The Advanced Products Creation Center is yet another lab that is primarily focused on incorporating technology into your products. Your priority on innovation gives customers a sense of comfort in knowing that your products are of the highest quality and provide them with the tools they need to succeed. Your company also provides customization, including sport style, traction, and color. Nike ID is an extremely valuable part of your company because it enables customers to personalize the products they purchase, which creates even more value for the customer. Your company has established a strong brand as a result of your success. Not only is Nike one of the most recognizable companies in the world, you are the top seller of athletic footwear and apparel globally. Partnerships with some of the world's best athletes have catapulted your company to the very top of your industry. This worldwide recognition is what brings value to your company and to your customers. Next, we will discuss your company's value chain. Your company's primary activities in the value chain consist of inbound and outbound logistics, operations, marketing and sales, and service. Nike has a global procurement team to manage the procurement part of its supply chain. The team contacts and selects the right suppliers for the correct goods and services. Recently, you have seriously begun to focus on sustainability and are working towards reducing your environmental impact. Your operations include outsourcing 100% of the manufacturing and assembly, having an effective supply chain management approach, and you invest heavily into research and development, which allows for more technological improvements. Your strong control over global distribution channels is certainly one of the most important factors in outbound logistics. Your great relationships with suppliers allow you to collect, store, and distribute your products effectively. Because of your high brand recognition and reputation, customers see your products all over the world. With celebrity endorsement, customers are able to see their favorite sports players wearing Nike equipment. With this type of marketing, people all across the world are introduced to Nike. Customers are able to choose from a wide variety of products and are able to customize their choices as well. Not only does this increase sales, but also provides an increase in customer satisfaction. Nike also offers pre-sales and after-sales services to its customers. Next, we will discuss your company's support activities in the value chain. Your company's second support activities include procurement, technology development, HR management, and firm infrastructure. Nike's long-term and trusting relationships with its suppliers are an important part in Nike's procurement process. At your company, quality is extremely important, which is why there is an entire team dedicated to analyzing and evaluating eligible suppliers. You keep the ones who can guarantee more than the minimum quality requirements. Technology is another huge component to your production strategy. Nike is continually using its technological solutions to minimize its impact on the environment. The team of over 40 researchers contribute to your exceptional product design. The strong management team and global education contributes a great deal towards your company's human resources management. You have an excellent employee relationship and have high ethical values among those employees. Nike is a global company, and included in its infrastructure is your offices, retail stores, and distribution and logistics centers. Because of such a large infrastructure, this allows you to manage your global presence well. Effective infrastructure management allows you to optimize the value of the whole value chain. Next, we will talk about your tangible and intangible resources. Let us take a look at your tangible and intangible resources. Nike's tangible resources include physical assets, financial assets, technological resources, and organizational resources. Your physical assets include the Nike Worldwide Headquarters, which spreads across 286 acres and has more than 75 buildings, including the Nike Sport Research Lab. As of 2019, you also have over 1,000 retail stores worldwide, including over 350 in the United States. You also show a strong constant growth where annual revenue for 2019 was just over $39 billion, a 7.4 increase from 2018. Nike's ROI and ROA is also higher than the industry average. Nike's technological resources include patents like Nike Air, Nike Zoom, and Nike Air Max. Trademarks such as the Nike Swoosh and contracts with sport legends are all included in your technological resources and effectively promote your brand. Lastly, a massive and extremely loyal customer base is a part of your organizational resources, as well as an effective distribution network and an exceptionally well-managed supply chain. Your intangible resources are that of human resources, innovation resources, and reputation resources. In 2019, Nike employed over 76,000 people all over the world, which include over 40 researchers at the Nike Explore Team Sport Research Lab. Innovation resources at Nike include integrated research laboratories, dynamic technological innovation design, and exclusive worldwide patents. The reputation resources at Nike are the brand name, very identifiable and distinctive trademarks such as Just Do It, and logos such as the Nike Swoosh. Next, I will send it over to John, who will take a look at your company's financials.
Thank you, Michael. My name is John Staccato, and I'm going to be going over the VRIO framework for your company. The VRIO framework is an analysis of your firm's competitive potential in terms of it being valuable, rare, difficult to imitate, and the organization of your company. Starting at the top left of this graph, you can see that Nike's outsourcing and cost efficiency is valuable and has no substitutes. However, it is not rare or difficult to imitate. Nike outsources almost all of its production, and the size of the company's production gives economy of scale, which allows for lower production costs. This gives Nike a competitive parity, meaning that you are on par with the other firms in your industry. Nike's brand loyalty and recognition are valuable and rare, but it is not difficult to imitate, and there are substitutes, giving it a sustainable competitive advantage. Brand loyalty gives Nike a competitive advantage due to the wide recognition of the firm. However, it does not differentiate Nike from other large companies, such as Adidas. Nike does have a temporary competitive advantage in the HR department because it is rare and difficult to imitate. Unfortunately, it is not sustainable because Nike is being held back by whistleblowers on unethical decisions within the company. We do not believe the firm can afford to make more mistakes like this if they are planning to enter the athleisure market. We believe that Nike's innovative products are one of the strongest attributes. We suggest sticking to a similar plan when further developing yourself in the market. Another strong attribute of Nike is the efficient in-store operations, but it will only provide a temporary competitive advantage because it is not rare. Finally, Nike's marketing gives them another temporary competitive advantage. It is valuable, but it is not rare and can be easily imitated by rivals in the same industry. Now I'm going to go into a slight financial analysis of your company. As you know, you have an outstanding company, and that is reflected by the numbers in this analysis. Because of this, I'm only going to go into a few factors that could help boost your profits as you dive deeper into the athleisure market. In 2019, Nike had a current ratio of 2.12. This means that Nike had 2.12 times the amount of current assets compared to liabilities. This is phenomenal compared to the rest of the industry as well as the athleisure industry. This also shows that Nike has plenty of liquid assets to use to penetrate the athleisure industry. A better indicator of your firm's liquidity is the cash ratio. This is a more strict look at your firm's most liquid assets, which are cash and cash equivalents. Again, these can be used in an attempt to be more prevalent in the athleisure market since you have some room to work with. Compared to your industry and the athleisure industry average, you can see that Nike is again outperforming its competitors. When looking at the long-term ratios, Nike has a debt-to-equity ratio of 1.62. This means that Nike has about $1.62 of debt for every dollar of shareholder equity, which is still better than their industry's average, but is lower than the athleisure industry average. However, this is not a terrible thing, because this is an indicator that Nike is still attempting to grow their business by taking on more debts to increase their business. If you were to penetrate further into the athleisure industry, we expect this ratio to decrease slightly because the production and R&D needed for this new industry are complementary to the production processes you already have in place. As you can see, Nike outperforms both markets in terms of net profit margin. Because athleisure is in the growth segment of its life cycle, we believe that the low net profit margin will increase significantly and further boost Nike's net profits as the industry continues to grow. Now I'm going to send it over to Marina, who's going to talk about some of the alternatives we have for your company.
Hello, my name is Mirna Poliza, and I will be speaking to you about some alternative solutions that our team has come up with for your company. The first alternative solution we looked at was from a PR perspective. Your company has had some incidents of unethical behavior from both your athletes and employees. To increase your revenues, we looked into switching into stricter policies for your firm to limit unethical mistakes and to improve your brand image to a more positive one. The message that Nike will be sending out to its employees and its future endorsers is one of a no tolerance policy. This in turn holds anyone who signs this contract accountable for their actions. We want to keep Nike's brand image high, and we believe that this can help. But when analyzing consumer responses to these unethical behaviors, we did not notice a strong enough decrease in revenue to constitute making this our ultimate solution. Another alternative solution we considered was to create your own technology company to provide consumers with a way to enhance their healthy lifestyles. We analyzed the past products you have developed, like the Fuel Band and the Apple Watch Nike Plus Edition. These products have had success in the market. However, this market has become saturated as of late. With devices like the Fitbit, we think your best bet is to stick with the partnership with Apple, which has already provided profits rather than sinking more funds into this market. We looked at the effectiveness of an external strategy. We considered partnering with Lululemon and potentially creating a collaboration line with them. Unfortunately, with them becoming a stronger and stronger competitor, we don't believe this to be a viable option. We discussed possibly buying a majority share of the company, but Lululemon stock prices is 3 times that of your firm, and the costs are just too high for our liking. Another one of our alternative solutions was to create a female-centric brand, similar to Nike's already wildly popular Air Jordan brand. Right now, girls of a young age are playing sports and buying products that are branded for men. For example, girls wearing Ronaldo cleats, Air Jordan basketball shoes, and using Tiger golf clubs. We thought about creating a brand around a female athlete that would take over the women's market. Unfortunately, after analyzing this possible solution, we concluded that there was not yet enough revenue coming from the female market, and that the costs would outweigh the gain. I'm now going to pass it over to my colleague Max.
Our solution is very similar to the last alternative with some key differences. What we suggest is creating a female-centric brand around a public figure that expresses a healthy lifestyle, but she isn't an athlete. We believe that this is the most effective way to saturate the athleisure market at the lowest cost. We want to stay away from athletes when going in the athleisure market because we want to show people that the brand isn't specifically for sports, but rather for a healthy lifestyle. And this healthy lifestyle is about eating right and taking care of yourself, and most importantly, being happy. Why? Because being happy is being healthy. And on top of creating this brand around a healthy public figure, we want to stress the importance of material. We don't believe your current selection of materials is differentiated enough to compete with Lululemon. But we do believe you have the resources and the R&D to accomplish this at a minimal cost to your firm. So I'm going to hand it off to John now, who's going to outline our strategy and how to accomplish this solution.
Thank you, Max. At this time, the leading company in the athleisure market is Lululemon. In 2019, Lululemon had $4 billion in sales. If Nike could penetrate this market, taking at least 1% of these sales away from Lululemon, that would be another $40 million in sales that Nike did not have before. We expect with Nike's widely known brand, sales will be well over this level and will continue to grow as Nike becomes more developed in this industry. As previously mentioned, the athleisure market is expected to continue to grow about 8% per year, which will amount to around $25 billion increase each year. The athleisure market is still in the growth part of its life cycle, so this would be a perfect time for Nike to dive into the market and begin reaping the benefits. Furthermore, since the market is still in the growth stage, the cost of entry is still relatively low, as well as a number of competitors. We believe that the best way to further penetrate this market is to sign a prominent female public figure and produce a brand or a clothing line around her. We expect this signing to be anywhere from $10 to $20 million, based on the public figure and the negotiations. However, we expect this new deal to bring in estimated revenues upward of $2 billion. This would provide Nike with a 100 to 200% return on their investment. To put this in perspective, we see that you expect to increase revenues from the Jordan brand by the same amount over the next couple of years. So within 1 or 2 years, you could see profits from this new market reach the level of one of your most successful brands. The growing athleisure market is becoming a very profitable industry. If Nike could get a footholder as one of the leaders in the industry now, it could further increase the value of your already outstanding company. Thank you.